welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be showing you what makeup I am clearing out of my makeup collection and I'm getting rid of. That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like these products. Some of them I do like, but I don't use them as often, so I'm going to pass them over to friends, or some of them are expired and some of them I didn't like. So we're just going to go through everything that I have in here and I will let you know a little bit about each product. So if you're interested, then go ahead and keep on watching. So the first thing in this bag that I am getting rid of is this Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. The reason I'm getting rid of this is because this bottle is literally empty and it's just sitting in my drawer. I loved this primer so much. I need to get another one, but this empty bottle does not need to be in my drawers. The next product I'm getting rid of is this EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. I was in the shade F200 when they had the old shade names. I bought this foundation, I want to say almost 3 years ago, and I think that it is probably expired and that's why I'm getting rid of it. I didn't reach for it after I got my Too Faced Born This Way foundation and a couple of my others that are now my go-tos, so it kind of stopped at halfway, which is actually a lot of product used of this. So I did like this foundation when I first got it, but since it is just sitting in my drawer and it's about 3 years old, I'm gonna toss this. The next thing I'm getting rid of, because it is an empty bottle, is this Algenist Pore Corrector Anti-Aging Primer Base. I used this primer a ton when I first got it. It is empty now, and I probably wouldn't repurchase this just because it was so expensive for what it did. I didn't really necessarily see any longer lasting power with my foundation when I wore this, but it definitely did smooth my pores, and I think that it was a great skincare infused priming base. The next product I'm getting rid of because I did not like it was this Elsie The Glow Enhancer A Dry Face Oil. This is basically oil with glitter in it. When I first got it, I did really like it, but then I started noticing that there were just huge chunks of glitter on my face, and it was because of this face oil. The glitter in here is not finely milled enough to where there aren't like huge chunks of glitter, and you can see it even though this is gonna go underneath your foundation. And I don't know, it just didn't really do it for me, and when you put it on your hand to kind of look at it, you do feel the grains of the glitter. So I didn't think that this was the best thing to be putting on my face, so that is why I am parting with it. The next thing I'm letting go is this Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation. This is their airbrush foundation in the shade Medium 1. I have had this foundation for over 3 years now. I love it. This is one of my all-time favorite drugstore foundations. I especially love the undertone selection in this foundation. It's great. I love how it makes my skin look. I like how it lasts. But again, it's just been sitting around for a really long time and I don't want to have expired makeup in my drawers. The Maybelline Strobing Liquid in the shade 100 Light Iridescent. I love the color of this product so much, but whenever I try and use it on my skin as a cheekbone highlight, I find that it's just very hard to blend. The formula is a lot drier. It kind of just sits on top of your skin and makes it look like a line of highlight instead of blending nicely into the rest of your face products. So the formula of this was a no for me, but the color is absolutely stunning. L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I have the shades 104 and 107, and when this first came out, I did really like it. But then I started noticing, you know when you first get a product and you really like it, but then after you start wearing it more and more, you realize that you might not really like it as much as you thought you did? That's what happened to me with this product. This just really kind of settled on my skin over my dry patches. I do have combo skin, but around my forehead area and on my cheeks, I am a little bit drier. And I found that this just kind of sat on my skin and made my skin look heavy and kind of cakey, and it did break up around my nose a little bit weirdly, and it is such a dry matte formula that it's hard to blend on the skin. So I am going to be parting with this because I no longer reach for this at all. MAC Prep and Prime in the Rose scent. This is finished. I have about 2 sprays left. I would totally repurchase this if they come out with this scent again. I loved it, but this particular bottle is finished. I have a Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is probably my third one of this bronzer, and it is empty. I've completely hit pan on this, so I am going to be tossing this. I just finally put my backup of it in my drawer, so I'm getting rid of this. Next up, I'm going to be getting rid of my Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the shade 6.5 Warm Almond. Back in the day, this was a huge thing on YouTube to use for cream contouring, and I did love it for years, but now you guys know I use my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel cream bronzer every single day as a cream bronzer, and I never reach for this. It's also probably expired, so I'm going to be passing this along. Next up is the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Moisturizing Foundation in the shade Medium Ivory. I love this foundation so much. I think that it's incredible. I think the staying power is amazing. It looks crazy good on your skin. The only thing is I cannot get past the scent. This has such an overwhelmingly powerful, I don't know, kind of a chemically smell to it, and I can't deal with it. I know that it doesn't last for a very long time once it's been applied. It does go away, but same with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I just couldn't get past the scent of it. It just is really nauseating to me. I'm very sensitive to smells, so I'm gonna have to get rid of this foundation even though the formula is ridiculously good. Next up, I'm getting rid of my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is probably my 6th or 7th tube of this mascara, and I did love it for a very, very, very long time. But then I started using the Buxom, what is it called? The Big Tease mascara. This is a plumping mascara by Buxom, and this one has just really, I'm throwing this mascara away. Compared to this mascara, that mascara is nothing. I am obsessed with how this makes my lashes look. It literally makes my lashes look like they are false lashes. So this, I love the effect so much more with the Buxom one. That one's also dried out, so I'm not like getting rid of it when there's so much product left. I did use it until it dried out, but I will not be repurchasing. Next up, I have a Step 1 Base Mattifier by Makeup Forever sample, and I don't know, I wasn't so crazy about this. I used it a couple of times. I didn't really see the biggest difference in the world. I probably wouldn't get the full size of this, but I do love their Nourishing Primer a lot. Next up in here, I got this sent to me recently. This is the Unisex Healthy Glow All Year Hydrating Summer Tint Moisturizer by Charlotte Tilbury. I really wanted to like this, but there were a couple things about it that I just didn't like. The first thing was the texture. It felt a little bit grainy as you're blending it out onto your skin. Also, this was kind of like a adjust to your skin tone product where it comes out white and then it changes to your skin color. I'll show you on the back of my hand. But I just found that it pulled such an awkward red, pink, almost orange Oompa Loompa color on my skin. It didn't really match to my skin tone. It just made me look like I was a very weird color. I didn't like it. And also, no matter how much you blend this out onto the skin, there's still a bunch of streaks of not properly blended out product. And you go over those areas and then you find other areas and then you go back to that area and then it's just, I don't know, I felt like it just didn't perform very well, and it has a very weird scent to it as well. So years ago, I got this Ciate London Lash Lights Electric and Serene Luminous Lash Tip colors. So these were really cool, the purple and the blue mascaras. They're kind of a weird wand. They're kind of like a flat, almost like shark fin type applicator, and these were great. They looked really cool when I wore them, but how often are you really wearing a purple and blue mascara? Not very often at all, at least I'm not. And these just kind of sat in my drawer for a couple of years, and I'm sure that these are definitely past their expiration date, so I'm going to go ahead and let these go. Next up, I have a ton of lip products in here. These aren't necessarily products that I don't like, they're just ones that I don't really reach for because I have other similar colors that I like better in different formulas or whatever the reason may be. I have a ton of these little mini ColourPop Ultra Matte lip colors, and I just don't really like the formula of these. On me personally, my lips are just always dry no matter what I do, and these are a super drying formula, so I'm going to pass those on to somebody who will enjoy them a little bit more than I will. Next, I have these Wet n Wild Liquid Matte Lipsticks. I have them in the shade How Fleek Is Your Love and Berry Recognize, and these are beautiful colors. They're very comfortable, they're very creamy. The only thing is the wearability on these is not very good. I found that they started to crumble after a couple hours of use, and they did fade off a lot in the center of my lips, and they bled a little bit around my mouth, so I will not be wearing these, but maybe somebody else will like them. Next up, I have a few Jouer glosses. I do have a couple that I use on the regular, but these colors I never reached for. I have Cherish, Malibu, and Monaco, and these were like from some set. a year or two ago that I got them in, and I just don't really reach for these, but the formula of these glosses is great. They're not sticky, they're long wearing, they're very hydrating, they have a very wet glossy look to the lips, so these are great lip glosses. I'm just not using these colors. Next up, a couple more lipsticks. I have this one by Absolute New York in the shade Nude, and this is a great color. I just find the formula to be very chalky and dry, so I don't really reach for that lipstick. And then I love these lipsticks by Milani, but I don't use the shade Nude Cream very often. I just don't like this color of pink nude on me. I think that it's too much of a baby pink on my skin tone. And then I have this one right here from Smashbox in the shade Be Legendary, and it's just this dark purple. And I find that this particular shade is a bit patchy. It doesn't go on like a nice even color. It's not a smooth application. So I'm gonna be passing this along. I have this pigment from Makeup Geek called Insomnia, and the color of this is gorgeous. It's like a galaxy duochrome type situation, and I love it. I just find that the packaging of their old packaging for their pigments is very messy. It gets everywhere, and I don't really go for such a dark eye look, and I don't really wear eyeshadow very often unless I'm like going out. So this was just sitting in my drawer, and I'm sure that somebody else will have a lot more fun with it than I have. I'm getting rid of this. This is the Tarte Lip Surgeons lip gloss because it is all separating and looking gross, but the formula of these lip glosses are amazing. I love them. This was in the shade Flush, and it was like a point perk or something at Sephora, and I used it a couple of times, but then it just kind of sat around and it went off. Next, I have a pigment from one of MAC's holiday collections. I think it was 2 years ago, and this is in the shade Naked. I just didn't find that this color did anything at all. You put it on and it was like you didn't even put anything on. So it just kind of sat in my drawer and I never used it, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then I have a tiny little sample size version of Becca Opal, and it has a little mirror on it as well, and I do have the full size of it, and I have a friend that I know is going to love this, so I'm going to pass this along as well. So that is it for all the makeup that I am clearing out and getting rid of. I hope that you guys found this video entertaining, maybe a little bit helpful. If you did, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.